We are going to look on the muscles that are on the dorsal side of the cat now. We'll start at the head. We'll move down inferiorly all the way to the tail. On the back of the cat's head, in between its ears, we see what's called the temporalis. We've got temporalis too, but it's going to look differently on us because we can't twitch our ears like this cat can. So this is all temporalis on the back of the head. Here's a hint. There's only one muscle on the back of that cat's head, and that's the temporalis. There are several muscles on the back of his neck and then all the way down the back. Let's look at this big muscle that is on his superficial back here. This is called the trapezius muscle here, trapezius. There's actually 3 separate trapezius muscles for the cat, but we're just going to learn it as one since we only have one. So this whole thing here is the trapezius muscle. If I took that trapezius muscle off, if I cut it off, what we see deep to it is the scapula. Look at that cat's scapula move like that. Deep to the scapula, or excuse me, deep to the trapezius, we're going to see several muscles here. See this broad band here? That's called the splenius. Splenius, that term means bandage, so whoever named these muscles, and it wasn't me, must have thought that looked like a bandage, whatever. That's the splenius. Now, let's look at this scapula. Realize how the cat's laying. He's laying with his arms like this. He's not in the anatomical position. But if I roll his arm down into the anatomical position, watch what happens to that scapula. It twists, right? This is what we call the spine of the scapula, if you remember your surface markings of your bones. Superior to the spine of the scapula is the supraspinatus muscle. Inferior to the spine of the scapula is the infraspinatus. So spine of the scapula is here. We see supraspinatus here, infraspinatus there. Now watch what happens when I adduct his arms. Adduct his arms, kind of pull him into the praying position, opens that scapula up, and it reveals this nice pretty fan-shaped muscle. This is called the rhomboideus. The human has a rhomboideus major and a rhomboideus minor. Cat just simply has a rhomboideus muscle. Now we looked at the trapezius. That was here. Let's move over in the shoulder here. Here's the cat's deltoid. It's just where ours is, right at the top of the shoulder. Now as we move down, we're going to see the triceps brachii. This whole thing is the triceps brachii, but it has 3 heads. You need to know all 3. The name of the muscle is the triceps brachii. The heads are triceps brachii lateral head, triceps brachii long head, triceps brachii medial head, way down deep in there. I'm going to pull this back because I've cut it, and you'll be able to see that a little bit better. So I pulled back the lateral head. Here's that medial head. You can see it better. And there is the long head. Now, just superior to the medial head, we see this muscle. This is called the brachialis. So this triceps lateral head would lie over the top of that brachialis. Here's the brachialis. Don't confuse brachialis with biceps brachii. That was on the front of the arm. I'm going to show you this again on this side. Triceps brachii lateral head. Triceps brachii long head. Triceps brachii medial head. Brachialis here. And deltoid. Now, moving down the back. That was our trapezius. Look how the trapezius kind of comes to a point at this big white area. The big white area is called the lumbodorsal fascia. It's not a muscle. It's a big strip of fascia that's an origin point for lots of muscles. So coming off of this lumbodorsal fascia, we see this great big giant muscle. This is latissimus dorsi. So the superior part of the latissimus dorsi is there's the inferior part of the trapezius. So there's our latissimus dorsi. Again, lumbodorsal fascia. What I've done here, I've cut a window in lumbodorsal fascia, and I'm going to peel that back. That's going to show us a series of deep back muscles that are called the erector spinae. That's what we're seeing here. Erector spinae muscles. It's a group of muscles. There's actually 9 on each side, but we're not going to learn them individually. We're going to learn it as the erector spinae group. You can call it erector spinae. In humans, it keeps your spine erect. Or you can call it the sacrospinalis because it runs from your sacrum all the way up the spine. Whichever is easier for you to remember, you can call it either or, erector spinae or sacrospinalis. Now, as we move down, we are going to see the gluteal muscles look a lot different than they do in humans. In humans, the gluteus maximus is one of the largest muscles on the body. It's not the strongest, but it's very large, and larger in some people than others. I speak for myself here. Cats have tiny little gluteal muscles because they don't spend time sitting on their gluteus maximus watching Netflix like I do all day. Here's the gluteus maximus. Look how teeny that is, really teeny. Now, deep to that, but superior to that, we're going to see the gluteus medius. That's what this is. So it's a larger muscle. This one's kind of shredded and kind of torn up a little bit, but you get the point. There's gluteus medius, and then lying over the top of that is the gluteus maximus.